next matter is Maple Crest versus Amy Baker and any other occupants. That is our
Judge, I believe you should have received a dismissal on that.
I did just about 2 minutes ago, a dismissal without prejudice, which helps get us closer to back on time. So no one is here on behalf of Amy Baker. That matter is dismissed. And is that it for Maple Crest?
I believe so, Your Honor.
All right, Patricia and Heather, I'll release you both from here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, Meg, I didn't put you in there with Mr. Beeman. He just hung up.
All right, thanks, Judge.
All right, now I got two other people. iPhone 3. Jacob, I'll see you next Friday, or not before. All right. And Samsung. We'll bring them in one at a time. That is the alleged Thomas Becker, who should put his name on his phone by now.
Some of us have trouble with technology, Judge. I've tried.
What courthouse are you in?
I'm in 8th, where their public Wi-Fi isn't working.
Well, let's bring in our next person. Which case are you here on?
I'm a little early, Judge. I've got the Ruoff Mortgage versus Harrington.
All right, very good. You're in the right spot.
It happens once in a while.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Why don't you have a seat? Which case are you here on?
Jordan versus Laney.
All right, have a seat right on the benches back there. Someone has logged in as iPhone. Who am I speaking with?
This is Attorney Langland. Have a 9:30.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
You need to have Tom Becker help you with your technology and put your name on your.
Tom, the next time, Bob, will you do that for me?
What's that?
Next time we're in Main Street Pub.
Okay.
I'll let you do it.
All right. This is Attorney Stephen Langland. All right, they're going to have a technology conference at Main Street Pub, but that'll be a later date. All right, well, let's go to that matter. It is set for 9:30. Miraculously, we're back on time. We had a couple of dismissals, which helped us. This is entitled The Estate of Linda Lou Hahn versus David McCurchie. Stephen Langland is here on behalf of the estate of Linda Hahn. This is a property on US 12 here in St. Joe County. Tamara Carver is here. I'm not quite sure how she's connected to this. Ms. Carver, what's your connection?
I am the legal representative for the estate.
Yeah.
Yes, you're listed as the PR. All right.
Yeah. She's also known as by her maiden name, Hahn, H-A-H-N.
All right. Someone is logging in as Arnold or Hey Arnold. See who that is.
I appreciate the 90s reference, Judge.
You're a Nickelodeon kid?
A little bit.
I don't know if I have anybody. Oh, Arnold will be on Mr. Becker's case. All right, Mr. Langland, let's talk about your case. This is a estate. The matter is being requested for possession. We do not have service. The service is by attachment. And Mr. McCurchy isn't here. So what's the status, Mr. Langland?
Well, Your Honor, I'm going to just give you a little background on this case. This is a probate state filed in front of Judge Tomlinson 8 months ago. One of the state is this parcel of real estate. Ms. Hahn is the successor personal representative. Judge Tomlinson, personal representative.
Steve, you're breaking up. I'm having a really hard time hearing everything that you.
Let me hold you a little closer here. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. So this was filed in front of Judge Tomlinson as a probate estate 18 months ago. One of the assets of the estate is this parcel of real estate. The original personal representative was removed by Judge Tomlinson for his failure to liquidate the real estate and perform his other fiduciary duties. And then Ms. Hahn was appointed as the successor. We're having the same problem here. One of the heirs, her brother David, has possession of this home, and his possession of it prevents the personal representative from performing her duties, such as cleaning out the house, making necessary repairs, and marketing it. This estate should have been wrapped up at least a year ago, and because we haven't been able to sell the real estate, we've been able to do that. So basically all we're asking for is the judgment of possession, asking Mr. McCurchy to vacate the premises so that the personal representative can perform her statutory duties.
We've had probably 7 or 8 of these in 2023 with an estate, and one of the siblings won't vacate. There's a dispute. He was served by attachment. Ms. Carver, is he still there?
Yes, sir.
Well, he wouldn't try to get served. Because I have service by attachment, Mr. Langland, I have to continue this matter for 7 days. Otherwise, I could do a default.
Sure.
If anyone knows David McCurchy, and I do know of him, here he is, late to the party. He was here earlier, and then I lost him. He never got his sound connected. People try to practice doing Zoom and they've never done it before, 1 minute before the hearing. To his credit, he was here quite a while ago, but I never figured out who he was. Is that David McCurchy? Tamara?
I don't see him. Hold on. I believe so, yes. I can't see his video, but.
Well, he's also driving, and I don't do anything with people that are driving. Mr. McCurchy, can you hear me?
I can now.
Pull your car over. We don't do court with people wearing a hat and a moving
Well,
truck.
I just had to pull over because some people work for a living.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
yes.
here we go.
Yes, they do. So do we. So you tried to log in earlier. And then
Well,
you were
'cause I
walking
thought it was
around.
I thought it was 8:30, sir.
Well, you're here now, so
Yes,
let
sir.
me take a minute and advise you of your rights as a tenant in a landlord-tenant proceeding.
Okay, I'm not a tenant. I'm an owner.
Mr. Harrington, can you hear me?
The iOS operating system and one for your
Mr.
Android.
Harrington, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
All right, well, I'm gonna advise you of your rights as well. As a defendant in a landlord-tenant proceeding, including non-payment of rent, mortgage foreclosure, or termination of tenancy, you have the following legal rights.
yes, sir.
You have the right to obtain counsel for representation in this matter. If you cannot afford an attorney, a legal aid attorney may be available to help you. You have a right to a trial by a jury or by the court. If the action is for non-payment of rent, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services could assist. Neither one of these is that type of case. If the plaintiff is agreeable, the Citizens Mediation Services, Inc. may be available as a possible source of case resolution. If both parties are interested, the court can set that up. If you do reach an agreement with the plaintiff and a consent judgment is entered by the court, you would waive the rights listed above, but have the following additional rights. The judgment may not be enforced until 3 business days had passed. You could move to set aside the judgment within those 3 days if you misunderstood what you consented to or what you were waiving. Your motion to set aside the judgment would be set for a landlord-tenant hearing. However, if the judge does not find in your favor, the original judgment would stand. Mr. McCurchie?
Yes, sir.
MCK. Mr. Langland, who's representing the estate, gave a little rundown before you came in. They wish to close this estate and sell this property. Your sister, Tamara Carver, is the personal representative, and they brought this action to remove you from the premises so they can sell it.
Okay.
And what's your position?
Let me give you a little rundown on this. The representative for our attorney for our estate met with me and my brother Daryl in Kalamazoo before the first Zoom meeting with her taking over the property. And he said, "Oh, I had the judge's phone number. I'll just call him if somebody's going to contest it, and then we'll set a hearing instead of just having a Zoom meeting." Well, apparently that never happened. Okay. Number 2, I am not a tenant. I'm part owner of that property.
Well, who is the attorney you were talking to?
The one that represents our estate.
What's
met with me and Daryl McCurchie. He met with me and Daryl McCurchie, my brother.
What's his name?
Steven something. It's the one that's referring to one that's on the Zoom call.
All right. So he met with you, Mr. Langland?
Yes, I met with he and his brother, who are also heirs of the estate. We were trying to determine if any of the other heirs wanted to become the successor personal representative. He expressed an interest in it. So there was a Zoom hearing in front of Judge Tomlinson, and no one showed up to contest Ms. Hahn's request that she be appointed. I think that's what he's referring to. I said, I will get a hold of the court and they will set it for a Zoom hearing.
No, it was already set for a Zoom hearing.
All right. Well, all right. Mr. McCurchie, you're right. You're a tenant because you're living there and you're a part owner of the property as an heir.
There you go.
To the estate.
That's not a tenant.
All right. Well, the problem is you're not the whole owner, and the other owners want to sell the property and divide the assets.
Oh,
so they're asking.
Are they all in this Zoom meeting?
No, just you.
Okay, because I don't remember my 3 brothers in a big hurry to sell the property.
Well, the personal representative gets to make that decision. It's not a family vote. So
again,
anyway,
if our state attorney would have done what he told my brother that he was going to do, because my brother was going to take over, he said he would call and set up a hearing instead of a Zoom meeting, and he didn't do that.
That didn't happen. So there is a personal representative appointed by Judge Tomlinson. That's Tamara Carver. This estate has been in the works for 18 months or so.
Yeah.
And the other heirs want to sell this property.
They said that.
Divide the money. And you would get your share as an heir.
Did they sign affidavits stating that?
They don't have to. The personal representative has brought this action.
Who said that? Who said the other 3 were ready to sell it?
Nobody.
Oh, okay.
The personal representative is ready to sell it.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you a rundown on the personal representative.
Well, I don't need any more information, but you
That's what I
do.
thought. She's a thief. That's why I locked the house up.
All right. Well, at some
I've got
point,
documentation and proof that she's a thief, and I got documentation that she lied under oath the last time, saying that she had a state company come out there. Look, no, she didn't, because I've got 8 cameras on that property watching every inch of it.
all right.
When she gives back the shit she stole from the estate, I'll happily move.
All right. Well, here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
They're asking you to move. The law requires that I set this for another hearing, at least 7 days.
We'll do that.
If they get what they ask for next Friday, you'd have 10 days to move out. Or the sheriff will come throw your stuff out. And
I'd like to see him try it.
Yeah, well, that's happened before too.
Yeah.
So, all right, it would be
again when she returns the shit she stole from the estate, I'll happily leave.
Okay, I don't know. This happens. As I said, I've had a lot of these, and this is about right up with some others I had. One guy barricaded himself in there for several months. Finally,
I didn't barricade myself in. I've been working on
not
renovating
you.
the house.
That was a different case.
Well, what I'm telling you, if you give me a minute to speak, I know you don't care, but because Tammy's got all these fabricated.
Just a minute, Mr. McCurchie. If you insult me again, I'm going to remove you from this hearing. Yes, you did, and the insult is in the eyes of the beholder, which was me. So you listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to continue this matter until next Friday afternoon.
Well, I got to have an attorney before that, so.
Well, certainly, and legal aid is here for you to
Well, I'll get one, but it's going to take us a minute to, organize stuff. Like I said, I have documentation where she was stealing stuff from the house, so I locked it up to keep the house secure.
As I told you, you have a right to hire an attorney, and you could request that legal aid get involved. Legal aid probably wouldn't handle this type of case.
I'll hire an attorney. I'll hire a real one.
All right. Well, legal aid attorneys are among the most knowledgeable landlord-tenant attorneys out there, but nonetheless, you can choose who you wish. I'm going to continue this to next Friday at 3:00.
Okay. I'll have my attorney extend it.
All right. Now, you need to be here live. And if you give me an insult or you roll your eyes at me like you did here, I'm going to have the bailiff take you into custody for contempt. So you need to be here live in person at 3:00 next Friday. You don't get a Zoom privilege.
I don't want to be privileged. I want to be live.
All right. Well, you will be here live and you will be respectful.
I'm generally respectful, except for when somebody's stealing from my parents.
All right.
And I have documentation and proof.
All right. Well, that's all well and good. That may be something for another case. This matter is about the fact they want you to vacate the house so they can sell it. And it isn't a family vote. The personal representative gets to make that choice. So I will see you next Friday at 3:00 live here at the courthouse. The others are permitted to appear by Zoom. All right, David, I'll see you then. And if you get a lawyer, they know how to file an appearance and do what they need to do.
Oh, I'm going to get a lawyer.
All right, very good. All right, he didn't want to talk to you, but Maggie wanted to talk to a real lawyer.
All right, I felt in good company.
I'm going to tell him he should probably call Thomas Becker. He's very knowledgeable about this kind of thing.
I appreciate that. That's what I need.
All right, we will adjourn this. Defendant intends to retain counsel.
I'm happy to share the love, Tom.
I know Mr. McCurchie from other dealings. All right, Mr. Langland, this is probably going to be a bumpy ride, but we will address it next Friday at 3:00. And Ms. Carver, stay in contact with your lawyer.
I have been. Thank you, Your Honor.
Tammy, will you call me later?
I sure will, Steve. Thank you.
After we get off this, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.